So today we're going to do a video talking about the Brics on the rise and what will blacks in America and Africa do when the dollar falls. So make sure you stay tuned.
What you sing as giving them the type of timing.
What's going on, world? Welcome back to T3 and Me. It's your man Tim Ford Jr. here, and today I'm here with my beautiful wife, Mrs. Siobhan Ford. Karibu sana, Mrs. Ford.
Asante.
Yes, welcome you all. First, we want to give thanks and show love to all the people who've shown us love and support. Thank you to all the subscribers who've been following us on this entire journey. Thank you for those who sent us love, who sent us support, who sent us donations, prayers, well wishes. We don't take it for granted, and we're grateful that you guys are showing us love and giving us, you guys, attention. We're grateful that we're producing content on a high value that keeps you guys' attention, and you guys actually find value in what we're producing. So, we appreciate that, and thank y'all for tuning in, all right? And to all our new subscribers, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that now since you tuned into the video. And if you're new here, Karibu sana, welcome. We appreciate you. We talk about things in Africa, showing our life in Africa, and giving people the game on how to come over here and be successful in their own right. So yeah, y'all, welcome again. My wife is here with me today, and today we want to talk about the Brics and what that really means for us as African Americans. We're going to talk about them and what that means for us as a people and how we can, be in a good position when this dollar falls. So I'll let my wife take the floor for now.
Shalom, everyone. So yeah, man, it's a lot going on in the world. Some of you guys pay attention to current events and global events. We see that Brics, and for those who don't know, we can just tell them a quick little rundown real quick. So basically, Brics is a coalition of countries. Brics stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they were the ones that first started the coalition of Brics, and basically they started it really to oppose America, because we all know that America is like the dominant economic power and the dominant military power in the world, or at least it was, right? At least it was for the last couple of decades, since the last World War, even before then. So they basically have been able to control and pull strings around the world and start wars and go into countries and kill dictators and all these things, because they the US dollar made a deal with Saudi Arabia to where they will only sell their oil in the US dollar, so they call it the petrodollar. And so when they did this right after the World War, they were able to basically assume control over the entire world because of that economic move that they made. Like, they really made a whole chess move. Yeah. But it was nefarious for the other countries in the world, because like I said earlier, they used that to then crush different countries economically, put them into periods of depression, high inflation. They started wars and coups, took out different people's presidents, all sorts of things. And so Russia and them said, look, we tired. We had enough. We're going to make our own dollar. Yeah. Not their own dollar. They're going to make their own currency. They're going to back their currency by assets such as gold, precious metals and minerals, and things that are tangible that you can hold. The U.S. dollar hasn't been backed by gold since when they gathered up all the gold. I think that was, don't let me tell you the wrong date, but it was a while ago.
Early in the 1900s.
Yeah. They took away all the gold from the citizens. And then what they've been doing is just printing money. Like, it's literally paper money.
Yep. And it's... You finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's really basically holding up their fairy tale, basically. They since they put themselves in the position of power with making the US dollar, they've been able to print it on demand, and they've been able to go to different countries all around the world and pretend like they're giving them this nice substantial amount of money for a loan, and it's just paper, and they end up taking the resources from the country. That's why they end up in all these different places, because they are in power with their dollar. They've been in power with their dollar, but now every bully has his day. We all know every bully has his day. So now, all around the world, other countries and presidents are really standing up for themselves and saying, like, you know what, we're going to get this bully's foot off of our neck. Just like we're doing here, we've decided to move and get ourselves out of that environment. The same things are what countries are doing for themselves on a higher level. They're detaching themselves from the, what you want to call it, the snake call them the
The
snake.
whore.
Yeah.
That's what the scriptures call
Yeah.
the whore.
The whore of America. So
Whore of
yeah,
Babylon.
things are changing, y'all. Not just, y'all don't just see us doing it on YouTube. It's other people and people in high positions that are tired and they want their people to be in a better position and they're standing up for themselves and making strategic partnerships. So this is all this is right now, basically.
And on a spiritual level, also, I'm not saying that Russia and China are like, or any of these countries are like the epitome of like,
Yeah.
you know, righteousness
Morality.
or anything. But compared to the U.S., especially like some of these other countries, they do have a moral high ground. And what they said is they're sick of America imposing their nefarious morals on people, such as the alphabet agenda that they're pushing on countries, even though these countries have repeatedly told them that we don't agree with that. We follow the script, the Holy Bible, and it tells us that we're not supposed to do that. And so instead of them accepting them, they're not bothering these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people in their country aren't that way, you know, because it's not in their culture. And they're trying to push the Western ideals onto these countries. And they've had enough. They say, look, they're ready to get the trash out. Okay. Yeah. And so now think about this, 45% of the population is in one of those Brics countries. And other countries are set to join. Mexico is trying to join. Saudi Arabia is trying to join. A lot of the different African countries, Nigeria is trying to join, and some of the other African countries, Egypt, some more of the South American countries. So by the end of this all, like, pretty much the whole majority of the population is going to be with Brics, and then it's just going to be NATO. And even NATO is disintegrating. Yeah. France said they don't want no parts because they need that oil.
What is NATO, for those who don't know?
NATO is the North American Treaty something. But basically it's what they formed after the World War, when they were in the Cold War with Russia. And they formed it basically to try to keep their foot on Russia's neck, pretty much. And they've been working in Ukraine because Ukraine is right on the footsteps. This goes back, this has been in the works for a long time.
So they formed an alliance.
They formed an alliance to keep Russia from being a world power. To keep the West on the rise. The West is Europe and America. That includes, you know, Canada and America. Just America and Europe. Basically, it's a fight between the West and the East, pretty much.
Basically, a big gang war.
Yeah.
The biggest gangs of them all are ganging up and tired of being picked on. So, you know, we just in the middle of this. I wouldn't say in the middle, we're actually at the forefront. All this is happening because of us waking up and sounding the alarm and stepping into who we are as a people and really like holding people accountable and countries accountable. Because I know there's melanated people all around the world that's holding governments accountable to what they're supposed to be doing and the righteousness and the order of how things supposed to be, because we've been treated wrong for so many centuries. And us stepping up now and us really jumping up and saying, you guys are tripping. All over the world, there's protests and people standing up.
Even in some of the European countries, they protest.
Yep, and mostly the European countries, they the main ones tired of it because they've been under the foothold for so long.
Yeah.
But now we're in a place where if you're able to stand and mobilize with your people, like the Brics are doing, you can create something for yourself and not still have America's hand around your neck and have them stopping you from what you're trying to do. So, you know, organize like the Brics are doing.
We're going to get to that. We got to talk a little bit more about what's going on before we get to the solution.
Hey, Naya. Zasabui, Dada.
Asabui. Salama. Hujambo. Yes. So that's Swahili. Y'all know some of y'all was like, y'all should give us an update.
Yes, an update.
We just told our Dada good morning, how she doing and everything. All right. So now, with the rise of Brics, I mean, on a scale, it's only right if one going up, the other side has to be going down, right? So we see that with the rise of Brics, there's a fall or the collapse of the USD. Those who are in America, they know exactly what's going on. Like, y'all know what's going on. Some people don't want to admit it, but the dollar is on its way out. If not, I honestly think that it already fell, but they just don't want to they're like doing controlled demolition right now. Like, they're not going to just announce it. They're just going to do it in stages. Yeah. And we see that they killed the Cash App dude. And then they rolled out FedNow, which is the federal government's own version of Cash App, pretty much. And they're going to be switching over to CBDCs, which are digital payments, in July, officially. So with this, they're going to be able to have a great control over people. They're going to, if everything is tied digitally, that means that with the click of a button, they can switch you off, prevent you from traveling. If you guys look at what's going on in China, they have a social credit system that's tied into the CBDCs, and they're able to control people, like give them a credit score. Like, okay, you weren't a good citizen, you can't go travel today. You got to sit down. You can't have ice cream because you're going to get diabetes.
And because you walked in the street,
You
and
jaywalked.
was supposed to be on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Now we taking money.
Yeah, now we need $10 for that. You see what I'm saying? So we see the world is going into the beast system. The scriptures talk about
In it.
how
Deeper.
in the end times people won't be able to buy or sell. And we see that that's what these systems are capable of doing. They're capable of telling you you can buy it, you can sell it, you can travel. They don't have to fight people. They can just simply starve them out and make their lives super miserable.
Unfortunately.
Because if you can't go to the store and purchase groceries and you can't grow your own food because they're toxifying the air, the water, the chemicals in the soil. We see all of the train spills, the chemical spills, the fires where they're destroying plants where they produce food, where they grow chickens. A lot of the animals have been dying because of the chemical spills. So we see like even those who wanted to prep, who wanted to like bug out, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then not only that, if you do bug out and you do like save up years and years worth of food, them Gentiles is coming in there with their guns. You think they care about, they don't care about us.
Man,
they already
first chance
said that
they
we
get.
destroyed their country. Wokeism destroyed their country. They're blaming it on black people.
Not wokeism.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
wokeism. They're already talking about civil war. When stuff pop off, they're gonna run into the urban neighborhoods first. The black, they already have put all the black people into these strategic urban cities to where they can easily come in from the suburbs and descend upon the black population and do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
And you think the government is going to protect us? No, they don't care about us. They just going to be
haven't
like,
been.
oh, well,
Man.
figure it out for yourself. Because y'all said y'all didn't want us. Y'all said to defund the police, remember? So they're going to teach y'all a lesson. They're not going to come when 911 calls come in. They probably going to be part of the mob themselves. They're the biggest mobsters.
Right.
So this is not to cause fear in people. This is just to have a real talk with our brothers and sisters and to really get people to move, because we passed the point of thinking. We have to begin to move strategically.
So it's basically like we have a choice. We have a slim window of a choice right now. It was a big window at first. It started in 2020 when
2019.
Yeah, when this thing happened, when they put the stuff all in people's faces and made them, we
that
can't
was
say
2020.
Yeah. At the beginning of that was really our window of opportunity. That was our
3
chance, to really step out. And that's when actually we took our opportunity to go.
Gone.
We was gone as soon as we felt it in the air. It was like, it's time to go now.
Shifted like, about that time.
Yeah. So we ended up leaving at the beginning and we saw the writing on the wall, and now it's like we all have a choice now, and they're giving you a window to choose which side you're gonna stay on. They said by July, they're gonna roll out a digital currency. And you see everything that comes with a digital currency, like my wife just said, they can stop anything that you have going on. And we've watched the movie Hunger Games. We've seen how they locked people into those cities and made them fight and do things against each other. They put on paper that they want to do, they're doing 15-minute cities. They already have those built and prepared. So, there's a new system coming in place. And if you stay, you're still in agreement with what they have and what they're doing. You can protect yourself. You can leave and put yourself in a better environment. The choice is yours. The choice is wide open. The choice is yours.
Yeah.
Brics is connecting with each other. You have other countries forming things with each other. So if you can form something without them, you good. Go do something on your own. But if you stay where we at, if you stay with us, if you stay within our, what they call it, jurisdiction, you get whatever we put onto you. You have to go by these rules that we put on you. So while you have an opportunity, while we have a chance to move, and if you have the ability to put yourself in a better position, it's not wise to stay and believe in a system that hasn't believed in us the entire time we've been there. Like, it's time to give it up. The jig is up. The jig is up, y'all. The writing is on the wall. They don't care about us. We've been seeing it the whole time. I know, some people still believe. There's still an unction of hope in your heart. But you have to prick that out of you and look at the reality and look at the writing on the wall before you hurt yourself and your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And two of the biggest arguments that we get, pushback we get when we talk about blacks looking outside of America, specifically into Africa. Two major arguments we get is, one, the first one is the beast system is going to be everywhere. Now, let's address that, because that's a big elephant. Now, that is true to some extent, but we can't look at things in terms of black and white. There's nuances to every situation. Yes, the beast system will somehow touch every part of the world, but the scriptures say that the system is going to be partially weak and partially strong. So we know that those who are in the Western countries, which is America and Europe, they are going to, in China, they're going to face the full force of the beast system because they have the infrastructure in place. All the cities are built up, all the roads are built up, everyone is connected technologically. Everyone has a smartphone in America. Everyone's been already giving their data over to these big companies. They've been able to track, trace, people for many years. So they already have the system in place. They already terraformed the sky to where they can hook everyone up to one.
This is documented, y'all.
Yeah, basically one hive mind when the time comes. So they have the infrastructure in place. If you look in places like Africa, specifically like Tanzania, they're considered, America calls them third world countries. I don't like that term. But if we look at what it implies, it means that the infrastructure isn't in place. There's no way for them to enact that level of control over here. It's simply impossible. They don't even have roads in some of these places. A lot of people don't have smartphones. They don't have the technology and the poles and then the Wi-Fi and things to put a global surveillance system into place in many of these countries. And not only that, the people here are not going to go for that. As if you haven't heard, Africa has been pushing back very heavily on the alphabet agenda. So they're not going to just go along to get along. So that's the system is not going to have its full control in every country. And the scripture said that he's going to have a place of refuge for us. So if the whole world was going to be under control of the beast system, then that will make the Most High a liar. And we know that our Abba is not a liar. Now, the second argument that people push back on when we try to encourage people to come back who have heard the call, again, let's put that out there. If you haven't heard the call, don't come. But if you heard the call, is that they're Native Americans. Now, they just did a documentary on this, and they actually did the DNA of these people who said that they were Native Americans, and in fact, they found out that they were not Native Americans, that they were Africans. So if you haven't done your DNA, you're just going off of what people say, oh, I'm a Native American, or my grandmother had a Native American, and that may be true. You may have Native American in you, but you're not a Native American. If you do your DNA, it's going to trace you back to some country in Africa, if you're a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade. So
don't allow, we have people that's their I want to call it their cop-out.
It's
a lot of
cop-out.
people use that as their cop-out in order to not really accept the calling and accept the weight of what it means to come over here and build for yourself. But you can do it. You can build for yourself. Don't allow that thought of, oh, this is our land. Bro, if it is our land, this was our land first. Mankind originated in Africa, in Tanzania specifically.
Scientifically proven that the oldest human remains was found in Tanzania.
Yes, so, okay, maybe some of your people did start there, but before that, we started here. So just come back home.
Go to the root.
Just come back to the root so you can heal and get yourself in it. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. It's not something that's easy. It's not something that you can just pick up your life and just do. You can, but it takes some mental fortitude, and you can do it, man. Don't allow
high
those.
Level of faith,
high level of faith.
High level.
Yeah, don't allow those thoughts to make you self-sabotage yourself out of your calling and what the Most High put on you and your heart to do for your family. Because we are breaking generational curses in this season. A lot of us has been praying for it. A lot of us has been asking for ways to do it, and it's simply impossible to do it within this system on a grand scale. If you really want to heal fully, if you really want to break generational curses, if you really want to put yourself and your family in a better position, you know deep in your heart it's not feasible in that environment. You're going to have to, lose some part of yourself in order to make it in there. So, move yourself and put yourself in a better position. Since we're here, got to show y'all some of the products real quick.
This I'm not your body ready. Not your body.
Yeah. Natural product.
Not your body.
Yeah.
Not your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come closer. Come. Busy beachy.
So that brings us to the solution.
Let's get some dessert in, y'all.
Yeah, this is the icing on the cake. That brings us to the solution, because we don't like to just come and say doom and gloom and then there's no solution to what's going on.
Yeah.
The solution to what's going on is to move your money. For one, move yourself, and then also two, if you can't move right away, at least begin to move your money out of that US dollar.
Yeah.
Because where we are in Tanzania, the USD is almost 2.3 times the amount of one USD. So as the dollar continues to collapse, that monetary exchange rate is not going to be there anymore, if it's even there at all. So we actually are putting together an investors roundtable, and we're going to be discussing ways. We have a lot of things in place. We can't talk about it right now on YouTube, because some things you just can't cast your pearls before swine. Not saying you guys are swine, but you don't know who's listening.
Some of y'all are swine. Not all y'all, some of y'all.
Some of the people,
Yeah.
the trolls
Yeah.
or whatever.
Trolls,
like,
people that watch, who hate
Yeah.
you. Yeah, swine.
So you have to sign up on our website, www.t3andme.org/events, or just go to t3andme.org and then go to the events tab. But basically, what this Investors Roundtable, we're going to be discussing how you can, one, build generational wealth, two, secure you and your family's future, and also make income by investing into agriculture and real estate. So with the agriculture, we're going to be having investments in land, natural medicine and herbs, farming, water systems, and manufacturing. And then for the real estate portion of it, we're going to be talking about how you can invest and make money in land, property, Airbnb, housing, and things of that nature. So we have some really, really good things in place for you guys that we're going to be getting started on soon. And so if you guys are interested in doing that and getting out of the USD, moving your money around, putting your money into things that are going to build generational wealth and secure your legacy and make sure that you have income coming in a different currency that's not going to devalue and that's not going to collapse, then this is for you. And of course, this stuff is going to be taking place in Tanzania.
Yeah.
So, yes.
We as a people are afraid to talk about money and get on the subject of money because we've been forced to have a poverty mindset for so long. But we have to have these conversations about putting assets in the right place and moving things and putting stuff in the right position in order for us to really step into who we are and what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
Let's get it right.
There's no reason why Europeans are coming over here and buying up the nicest property here. Why we can't do the same if we use the model group economics. So you don't have to have a whole lot of money if we use the model group economics. And land here is very cheap. So we're going to tell you how you can own land, how you can invest in the things that's going on and what we're doing here, and how you can really like make some good money from it. Okay, now let's talk about how does this affect the diaspora that's already here on the continent, because there's people that are here already that have already made the journey over here. And for them, I would say twofold. One, you can also come to the Investors Roundtable as well. But the main thing for those who are here is going to be setting up businesses. Now, we've been talking about this for 3 years now, how people should come over here and set up a business. And we did get some pushback on that, especially in the beginning. People were saying, everyone doesn't want to set up a business. Some people don't want to do that. Some people just want to travel and they just want to be on a student visa or a volunteer visa. And the problem with that thinking, it's nothing wrong with that. Let me just say that. There's nothing wrong with getting a student visa or a volunteer visa or any other visa. But the problem with that is the long-term projections of that. Because once you're done with the volunteer or student visa after 2 years, then what? Do you have a business to sustain yourself while you're here? You know what I'm saying? And even if you're working online, that may not necessarily be the best idea, because again, once the USD collapses, then what? You're not going to have that online job. Or if you do have it, you're going to be getting paid pennies on the dollar, depending on what the value of the US currency is. So setting up a physical business here, you don't have to have a physical location, but just setting up a business here and conducting business here in Tanzanian shillings is going to be your saving grace. Because if you're still getting money in USD and you're not getting any money here, then you don't have like land, because that's another thing. We also encourage people who are here to get land and build their house. Because if, let's say you're retired and you no longer are able to have access to your retirement funds, if you already have your land and your house built, you're going to be good, and your food growing and your animals, you're going to be good. You can survive off of that. You see what I'm saying? So we have to begin to think long term and think about the future and not just what's going on now. Those who are able to see into the future and look into the projections of where the global economy and things are going to be the ones who are going to be able to survive and thrive, because you don't want to just be basically just surviving off the skin of your teeth. You want to be able to thrive. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to. We're building a kingdom over here. So we know this is going to take all boots, all hands on deck. It's going to take people working together, truly unifying and stopping this constant backbiting and things that are going on within the community, and really putting their heads together and working together and putting their money together to really build for the community. And for those who don't have the money to necessarily build, those of us who do, or who are of a like mind, needs to get together and put together infrastructure and things in place for our family and those who don't have the means to do so.
Well, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for staying tuned. We appreciate the love, we appreciate the support. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay tuned to the journey. And if you're interested in joining the Investors Roundtable, we'll have the link for that in the description box. And also, if you want to get a consultation on figuring out how you can come over here specifically for your family to tailor your specific needs, we offer consultations for that as well.
I offer clinical herbal consultations, so I am a clinical herbal practitioner. So if you are dealing with some sort of disease, chronic or acute, you can also book a consultation with me as well on the website t3me.org, and I will prepare a series of lifestyle, dietary, and herbs for you to take to help you heal and reverse whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then also, we also put together a Repat travel kit. So it's basically like some suggestions we suggest that people have, whether they're planning to travel or move to Africa, that's going to help make your journey a lot smoother. So that's also, everything is on the website. So just go to t3me.org and then you can find everything that we have to offer on there.
Yep. Karibu Sana. If you made it to the end of the video, we appreciate it, you guys, and y'all stay safe out there, all right?
Make sure you at the Investors Roundtable on the 23rd.
Yes. Shalom.
Shalom.